Coppinger's going to take it right foot to Coppin. Oh! Doncaster Rovers have done it!
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Aaron Chan here for Forever Football DRFC, your Doncaster Rovers fan channel, and welcome to this match preview as we host Plymouth Argyle in League One football. Now, obviously, we would have looked on paper at the start of this season, sort of 5, 10, 15 games into this season and gone, Plymouth Argyle, we're going to get battered. Plymouth Argyle do not look the best right now, and I think there's a real opportunity, especially with that win the previous weekend. Now, before we get started, guys, make sure you do like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell so you never miss a YouTube video, and we're going to get straight into this one. So, first of all, let's speak about, you know, the chance that we've got with this game, because we're looking at possibly, well, could be, giving minutes to all three of our debutants going into this game. Mipo Odebeko, Ben Jackson, Adam Clayton. Two of them I think will be on the bench. I'll go through my team lineup prediction later on. But I think two of them will be on the bench, just fitness-wise. One of them I think will start, give them an instant impact, and so forth. But for me, I think it's going to be really nice to see three new debutants fitting in with the squad, getting in the dynamic. I mean, Mipo hopefully is going to be a nice striker to have, you know, coming off the shoulder, you know, making the runs behind, you know, providing the right assists, providing the right balls through, and he could score goals. That's what we're told anyway. Ben Jackson, I think someone at left back who could really command that role on loan to the end of this season. I think that Ben could be a nice addition to the squad, give Horton some competition, help nurture him. You know, similar age to Brandon as well, so both of them can teach themselves and teach each other the game and how to read the game well and how to cover that left-hand side. Adam Clayton, for me, is... that's a great signing for us, especially since it was only 3, 4, 5 years ago he was playing in the Premier League. So, you know, for me, this is a wonderful signing for us. Really, really wonderful signing. And I think that Adam Clayton, for me, could be one of the most underrated signings of the window if we keep him fit and keep him away from injuries. Kind of gives me vibes of John Bostock in a way, where it's like he feels too good for where we are in terms of our situation. So, for me, the board get huge credit for the recruitment so far this window, and I still think there's one more coming. I said in the Ben Jackson transfer analysis, I think there's one more coming. But going into this game, like I said, Plymouth have looked really shaky going into this game. I mean, I think they lost 4-2 to Sheffield Wednesday, I think, and then after that, they were 3-1 up to Fleetwood and dropped 2 points and got only a point from the Fleetwood game away from home. You know, picking up a 3-3 draw. And for me, Plymouth's defence have not looked the best in the last couple of games, last few games. You know, I still think Schumacher can do it, but I think what's happening here, and some Plymouth fans might not like me for saying this, but I think what's happened here with Plymouth is they're now starting to feel the effects. I think they're starting to feel the Ryan Lowe departure effect. And, you know, that might be unfair to say, but because they've still got his assistant Schumacher as the manager. But for me, I just feel like the Ryan Lowe winning effect has just disappeared from Plymouth, and I think that's... I'm not going to say it's going to leave a long-term scar, because I think Plymouth can move on from this. They ran as a football club the right way to move on from this. But for me, me personally, I feel that Plymouth... I think it's a bit of a process now to recover from Ryan Lowe leaving, and it's taken a few results to get a battering, but I think they'll recuperate. Do I think they're going to get promoted this season? I think they could still finish in the top 6. Do I think they'll get promoted automatically? No, because I think that those spots will go to Sunderland, Rotherham or Wigan, but I think they could still finish in the playoffs. There's still a chance they could finish in the playoffs if they can get their act together. If they don't get their act together, they'll finish just outside the top 6, maybe even as low as higher mid-table. And for me, that's not where Plymouth should finish at all, because the start they had this season can't be forgotten. It was like a, 10-15 game unbeaten run. So for me, that can't be forgotten. Plymouth have got a world-class team in that league. It's just missing that little something. And the defence, for me, has just not been at it the last few games. So Plymouth are there to be got at. And I think this could heap more pressure on Stephen Schumacher. So let's go into my predicted team then. So I've gone with Lewis Jones in goal. Back four of Ben Jackson, Joseph Olowu, Ollie Younger and Carl Noyle. Perfectly simple back four. Ethan Galbraith returns to the midfield with Smith and Rowe in there as well. Marcel on the left. I've gone with Dudu on the right and Kieran Agard up front. I would have swapped Agard and Dudu because that's what McSheffrey will probably do, but I still want to see Agard up top and Dudu out wide, and Dudu and Martin working as wingers or inside forwards to sort of still create their own chances, because Dudu scored 2 goals in 2. No reason why at all he can't make it at least 3 and 3. So, especially with Agard on the pitch, because I've said for a little while now, I think Agard being on the pitch, even though Agard might not have done a lot in the MK Dons game, I think that he still makes Dudu look a better player. So for me, I mean, we'll see what Mipo Odebeko does if he comes on the pitch, if he starts ahead of Agard. You know, it'd be nice to see if how good Dudu looks with Mipo Odebeko up front with it, or with him in the attack and Martin. So I think it'll be interesting. But now let's finally talk about my scoreline prediction. Now, obviously, this is going to be a very tough one. I'm actually confident of a win, you know. I'm going to go 2-0 Doncaster Rovers. And I think it's quite optimistic for me to say, but I think with the form that Plymouth's been on and us starting to win now, I think we can get our first back-to-back wins of the season. And I think Saturday will be the day. So I'm going to go 2-0 win. I'm slightly more confident than I was, let's say, 2-3 weeks ago going into this game. But overall, I think that, you know, we're starting to look better now. So I think we're starting to look better on and off the pitch. So yeah, I think what the board are doing now, I think they've realised they made mistakes and they're rectifying them. They've done it with the header spot. They've started rectifying those mistakes. I'm not saying they've rectified all the mistakes, because there's still mistakes that have been made that need long-term rectifying. You know, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm someone who's a board inner, and I've not really said Baldwin out. I'm not one of those people. The best I would say is time for change, but I'm not someone who said Baldwin out. But they're starting to rectify mistakes. They've brought in a lot of great recruitment this window. They've done better than the summer window. Should that have happened 6 months ago? Yes, but at least it's happening now, and we have a chance to get out of this situation. The head of sports science coming in, good position to fill. If we bring in a director of football either before the end of the season or going into next season, that's a huge step forward in terms of refreshing the football structure, because that's been my main change for the football club. It's not been get the owners out. It's been refresh the football structure, bring the director of football, bring in more football people to run that side of things, and let Baldwin and Blunt and Bramall deal with the business side of things with their business board, and let the football board take care of the football situations. So for me, that's been the big thing with Doncaster Rovers. Refresh the football structure, get more football people involved in that side of things, and let them run the football side of things, and just watch what happens. Watch what happens, because Doncaster Rovers could be a better club if the football side of things are run by football people. So, and I'm not saying Baldwin isn't a football person at all. Obviously, we know he's a rugby fan, but, you know, I'm not saying Baldwin doesn't care. I'm sure he does care. But for me, I just think the decision needs to be made by a director of football, someone who knows the sport a lot better than Baldwin. So that would be my ultimate wish, a refresh of the football structure, because it's going to be very, very difficult trying to get new owners in, especially when no one's queuing to buy the club. So for me, just refresh the football structure, get someone football related in, and just watch what happens. So that's always been my stance. But at least the board are trying to rectify their mistakes from the summer and bring in the right recruitment in January that gives us a fighting chance of staying up. So, and if we don't stay up, if we just fall short, we've got one of the strongest squads in League Two. In fact, arguably, we've got the strongest squad in League Two next season. So, for me, I think it's just as good even if we go down. I think we've got a really good chance of being champions next season. So, obviously, it's not a guaranteed right in League Two. Of course it isn't, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm going to go with the 2-0 Rovers win tomorrow. What are you guys thinking? Comment down below. And for now, I'm Aaron Chandler from Forever Football DRFC. Keep living the Rovers life, and that, my friends, full-time Rovers side died. Thank you very, very much. And I'll see you all later.